Hey guys, it's Chris. From weird objects to mysterious natural formations, join me as I reveal 9 bizarre underwater discoveries by deep-sea divers. Number 9. Underwater crop circles. One of the biggest mysteries found in nature was a strange formation that kept occurring on the ocean floor near Japan. In the mid-90s, deep-sea divers kept coming across these rather intricate art pieces in the sand that seemingly had no point, yet were clearly made with great precision. These underwater designs were believed to be made by a mysterious entity, maybe even aliens. They were so detailed and mysterious that they became known as the underwater crop circles, and for over a decade no one knew exactly who made them and why. Eventually, though, it was revealed that the culprit was none other than a species of pufferfish. These fish would carefully swim around to create these patterns to try and attract mates. Males will flap their fins as they swim along the sea floor, which moves around the sediment, and amazing circular patterns are the result of this over time. What's truly impressive about this isn't just the detail that goes into the pieces, but also that the pufferfish are only about 5 inches long, and these patterns are about 7 feet in diameter, which means that these pufferfish put a lot of effort into these pieces. What scientists can't figure out, though, is why the female pufferfish are attracted to these circles. They're cool looking, though. Number 8. Underwater Sculpture Park. This underwater sculpture park can be found in the Moliniere Beausejour marine protected area of the Caribbean Sea, off the coast of Grenada, and was opened to the public in 2006. The sculpture park is made up of a series of life-size castings of people and objects in various positions, such as one famous piece of children, many of whom were locals in Grenada when the statues were made, holding hands in a circle formation. There are many other sculptures in there too, including a man working at a desk and more. All the sculptures were made by a British sculptor, Jason de Taylor. The entire park was placed about 4 to 5 meters deep in the Caribbean Sea. As for the intent of the sculpture park, it's not exactly what you might think. One part of it is to help enhance the very natural reef that's there. The sculptures were placed there in a way to ensure they didn't interfere directly with the wildlife and would provide more surface area for corals. But the other intent is to show off the power of nature and raise awareness to ocean conservation. These sculptures are slowly being taken over by barnacles and other sea life, and they demonstrate the power of the sea. Number 7. Cenote Angelita Cave, Underwater River. Believe it or not, there are some rivers that are found underwater, one of which is famously in the Black Sea. Other divers head to the Cenote Angelita Cave in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico and observe an underwater river that's a bit different. Now, technically speaking, this flowing body of water isn't really a river, but it does seem that way when you view it from a certain angle. What is truly going on is a mixture of salt water and hydrogen sulfide, along with other natural materials in the area, and that causes the salt water and the fresh water that's in the area to separate, thus making it seem like the area is moving like a river. Clouds of smoke made up of this process is what helps sell the illusion of the underwater river, and that's what brings many people down to it, because it makes the area seem more haunting and alive, as it appears to be moving as well. To reach this spot, you must travel down 60 feet into the waters, and through that perspective, you'll go from crystal clear waters to a ghostly forest over a period of time. And now for some strange fish. But first, be sure to subscribe to World List and click the notification bell to be notified of the latest videos. Number 6. Oarfish. The depth of the ocean hides many wonders, and one of those is the oarfish. This is a large fish that is the largest bony fish alive. In fact, the largest one found was 36 feet long. Yet when it was found, many people thought it was a hoax, mainly because it was too big or too monstrous to be real. Then, when it was proven real, they believed that this may be the inspiration for the legends of sea serpents and sea dragons. But since the oarfish prefers to live at massive depths, they're not seen too often on the surface, so it's hard to track them. In fact, some scientists believe that they live at nearly 3,000 feet below sea level. The few times we do see them is when they wash up dead on shore after dying like many other sea creatures in the past. And this is due in part to their muscle structure. They're used to the stiller waters at the deep depths, not the currents and tides near the surface. So if it reaches the surface, it's often dead or on the brink of death because its body is being battered by the waters. Adding to their mystery, they're rarely, if ever, caught on video. One such time was the show River Monsters, which was the first time in history it was ever caught on film. Number 5. Underwater Stonehenge. The real Stonehenge is a stone monument found in England. while underwater Stonehenge is a strange stone monument of questionable origin that can be found in Lake Michigan in the United States. And when two scientists found it in 2007, they were quite shocked. This was discovered by a professor of underwater archaeology at Northwestern Michigan College University, Mike Hawley, and his colleague Brian Abbott. They were going over the lake with some sonar equipment looking for shipwrecks and found the bizarre monument rather unexpectedly. Just as unexpected, it's been over a decade since the monument was found, and we still don't have answers as to what it is, what it isn't, and when exactly it was put there. Research into the monument hasn't been conclusive, and more mysteries keep popping up the more it's looked at. For example, on one of the stones that are part of the monument, there appears to be a drawing of a sort that features a mastodon. If it's real and can be verified, and it hasn't yet, that would mean that this monument was made at least 10,000 years ago. Or so they suspect. What's even more curious is that Lake Michigan has been sailed on by people for many hundreds of years, yet only a decade ago was the monument discovered. Number 4. Yonaguni Monument. In Japan, there's a place called the Yonaguni Island. There, they have one of the most interesting and mysterious underwater monuments in the world. The Yonaguni Monument is a series of large rock formations that has the scientific world split as to whether this is a natural design or something made by humans. Is it maybe some sort of underwater pyramid left over by a lost civilization? The monument itself was found in 1986 by accident when a diver, Kiichiro Arataki, a director of the Yonaguni Cho Tourism Association, he was looking for a place to observe hammerhead sharks and stumbled upon this rock formation. He spread the word, and soon scientists led by Masaki Kimura of the University of Ryukyu went to the formations to see what they were like. As for the debate, there are many sides and points to it that make sense when it's put into context. In regard to it being a natural formation, it has been proven by nature and weather that water can make objects and monoliths that seem man-made given enough time. What's more, certain scientists note that there are similar formations like this on the northeast side of Yonaguni, just not quite this big. On the other hand, the way the monument is designed has clear markings of human building, including right angles, having rocks be put on platforms in specific ways, and even have a rock protrusion that looks like the carving of a human face. Some scientists believe that this was built around 2,000 to 3,000 years ago and was part of Yamatai, an ancient part of Japan. Number 3. Stone Age artifacts. The Stone Age was an important part of history, but the sad truth is that because it was so long ago, many artifacts don't remain from that period, except for when Swedish divers went to the Baltic Sea and unearthed a series of Stone Age artifacts just laying on the bottom. According to the team, they had known that this area of the Baltic Sea could contain artifacts, but they weren't expecting as many as they found. They were dated back to around 10 to 11,000 years ago. The only thing stopping them from getting them earlier was funding, and that the area was so large that it hadn't fully been explored before. The place they found was known as Hano, which is a bay of the Baltic Sea, near Skåne County. The excavation of the area itself took over 3 years. Of the items they found, many were tools and objects made of bone and wood. And how did they survive all that time in the water? Well, sediment formed around them, and when it did, it luckily protected them from weathering and decay. The treasures were so numerous that the site was later dubbed the Swedish Atlantis. Number 2. New Jersey Deep Sea Graveyard. There's a place in the state of New Jersey that's been called the New Jersey Deep Sea Graveyard. It was discovered in 1985 when a man named Paul Hepler started to map out the bottom of the New Jersey coast and came upon something he didn't expect: 2 large locomotives. Upon diving down, he found they were Planet Class 222T models, which is a very rare model of train and one of the oldest models of steam train that were ever made in the United States. Just as odd, these trains were perfectly upright, which almost makes one think they were placed there intentionally. But whether that's the case is unclear. There have been many dives to these trains to study them, but all the results report the same thing. It's just not clear how they got there. The popular theory is that they came off a ship, but there's 2 problems with that theory. 1, there's no major damage to the trains that would show something like that. And 2, the trains themselves were never reported as missing or lost. Number 2. The Bimini Road. If you were to head to the Bahamas to go scuba diving, a popular attraction would await you underwater, and it's that of the Bimini Road. This is a half-mile-long stretch of rectangular limestone blocks, and no one's really sure how or why they got there. or what the purpose of it was at all. It was in September of 1968 that this road was discovered near North Bimini Island by Joseph Manson Valentine, Jacques Maille, and Robert Angove. As the name suggests, some think that it was a road that eventually got drowned by the waters. Others think it may have been the beginning of a wall of some kind, yet there's no evidence to suggest that these theories or others are accurate. This road is about 18 feet below sea level. What's more, the road isn't comprised of similar-shaped blocks, many different thicknesses, shapes, and more. The size also varies, with some being 10 by 13 and others being smaller than that, with a length of maybe 7 feet. It's also been speculated that because they've been in the water for many decades, the currents have weathered down the blocks that make the road, and thus have ruined their true shape. Thanks for watching. What did you think of these bizarre items found by divers? What do you think was the most shocking discovery of the lot? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to World List, and I'll see you next time.